Hello everyone, welcome back to vlog number 4. I know it's been a little bit since I've posted a video, and I apologize for that. Been a little busy with school, and also our hosts have been a little busy with some other stuff. So today, Steven has decided to host his own game. So his game will be $1 small blind, $2 big blind, $100 buy-in, $100 buy-in. And yeah, so good to be back with the boys. We got about 12 people coming today. Might be running some 2 tables today. And yeah, really appreciate the support. We try to be uploading a little bit more consistently since I'll be coming to Steven's games more often now. And I will see you guys when the cards are dealt. It's been a little bit since we played some cards here in the great state of Indiana, but it's safe to say I am happy to be back. Like I said before, we are playing 1-2 today and buying in for $100. Hopefully, we'd run as good as we have in the past to stay in the profits. First hand of the night, we looked down at ace-9 offsuit in middle position. If the ace of clubs would have been of the diamond variety, we would have had our favorite hand. It's a limp pot, as there's no pre-flop betting. Flop comes king, 10, jack with 2 diamonds, giving me a double gutter straight draw. Action checks to Tice in the cutoff, who raises to $2. Dylan on the button, 3 bets to 5. Small blind and big blind fold, and action's on me. I decide to call with my double gutter, and Tice then 4 bets to 15. Dylan calls, and I call as well for $10 more. We are now 3 ways to a turn in a $55 pot. The turn is the king of spades, pairing the board and bringing in a backdoor flush draw. Action's on me, and I check, hoping to see a free river card. Unfortunately, my wish is squashed when Tice bets 13. Dylan calls. I know both these players are very capable of bluffing, so I call. The river is a 3 of clubs. It's a complete brick. Action checks around, and I'm sitting with just ace high in a dream.
It's not crazy.
Ace high.
Ace high. Oh, I have a 3. Holy shit, I won with a 3. Are you kidding me?
Tice wins with a 3. Looks like I was right, as both my opponents were semi-bluffing with straight draws similar to mine. Tice got lucky and hit his 3 on the river. Unlucky for us, but we can't let it get to us as we move on with the session. The next hand we decide to play is Queen 10 suited on the button. When action limps to me, I raise to $5. Action folds to Tice in the big blind, who raises to 20. Then the player on my right in the cutoff calls to 20. I call for 15 more as I already have 40% of a royal flush in front of me. Hopefully, today is the day I hit one. We're 3 ways to a flop in a $67 pot. Flop is as good as it can be. King Jack 9 Rainbow giving us the nut straight. Very nice. This will be a great chance for me to win some of the money back that Tice took from me in the previous hand. Tice checks, the cutoff checks, and I fire out $10 to get some value. I am happy to see that Tice looks like he's reaching for chips, as he's probably going to call. But then I realize he's reaching for raising chips. He then decides to check raise me to $60, which is music to my ears. Player in the cutoff folds, and there's only one thing left for me to do in this scenario. All in. Turns out, Tice was trying to win some extra cash with 7 deuce. It was a good bluff, but unfortunately, the nut straight prevailed. Pretty good comeback as we take down this $187 pot. Our chip stack is looking nice after that win. Let's keep it growing. The next playable hand the dealer gives us is Queen 8 of hearts. It's a limp pot with multiple players. Flop comes King 7-10 with 2 hearts, giving us a front door flush draw and a straight draw. I am first to act in the small blind, and I check. Checks around to Carter in the button, and he fires out $10. I come along for the ride with my multitude of draws. Dylan in the under the gun +1 position also calls for 10 more. 3 ways to a turn, which comes to 2 of hearts, giving us the queen high flush. I check, Dylan checks, and Carter fires out a bet of $20. Considering that I have the 3rd best hand possible here with only hands holding pocket hearts with either the ace of hearts or king of hearts beating me, I debate getting all the money in here. However, I want to see if he's willing to bet more on the river. I call us 20, Dylan folds, and we are heads up to a river. River is an offsuit 8. I play passively and check, hoping he bets. However, when he checks back, I know I am good. Turns out, he was holding a king, and was playing it pretty aggressively, even with the flush draw out there. It's great to see that more chips are coming our way. We're running pretty well today, and the good hands continue as we are dealt King Jack offsuit in the cutoff. I call $2 in a multi-way pot. Flop comes Ace, Ace 5. Horrendous. Turns out these cards aren't good for anyone else though either, as action checks around. Turn is the 8 of hearts. Not helping us out at all. Dylan bets 5. Ethan to his left raises to 10. And sitting with king high, I fold my cards. We're then card dead for a little bit, but that ends when we look down at the wonderful pocket aces. With pocket rockets in front of me, I want to raise preflop to a sizing where I think many Broadway hands like Queen King, King Jack, or low pocket pairs will call. I raise to $7. Dylan in the cutoff calls, and Ethan in the small blind does as well. 3 ways to a flop, which comes Queen, Queen, 9, rainbow. Ethan in the small blind checks, and I continue for 15. Dylan folds, and action is back on Ethan. Ethan then decides to check raise me to $40. This is a weird spot. He's out of position and is first to act. He could be holding anything. He definitely could be holding a queen, but I feel like a queen would have just called and gotten more value in the turn because they are very clearly ahead. However, earlier in the session, I asked Ethan how long he had been playing poker, and he said he started 3 months ago. At the end of the day, it's only $25 more. I have the best starting hand possible, and if he has a hand like ace-queen or queen-10, I am way behind. I call. Heads up to a turn, which comes a 3. Ethan continues for 20, and I call, praying to see an ace in the river so we don't have to sweat this any longer. My prayers are not answered as the river comes a brick, the 5 of spades. My heart is telling me that I'm not good here, but I did raise preflop, so that gives me some hope that only hands that should have called with a queen are Broadway cards. Ethan then throws out 25 more, completely splashing the pot, much to the annoyance of the dealer.
Don't splash the pot.
I'm already priced in, and I signify a call by flicking in a green chip. Aces.
Aces. Trips.
Turns out my heart was right. Ethan was holding a queen, but it's not just any queen. He called my pre-flop bet with queen 4 offsuit. I guess that's the type of hands you play when you've just started playing. However, I'll give him credit. He did play it really well by checking on the flop, which enticed me to bet. I still don't think he should have been in that hand at all with such a weird holding. I am now very tilted as I do some quick math in my head, concluding that I just lost $92 with pocket aces to queen 4 off. Hopefully, we can get out of this hole as we look down at Jack 10 suited in the big blind. Action limps to our buddy Jaren in the hijack, and he raises to $10. Folds around to me, and I call for $8 more with my potential royal flush. Heads up to a flop, which comes 4, 8, 9, all spades, giving us the flop. Oh, wait, never mind. Wrong black cards, the flop is all clubs, but we do have an open-ended straight draw. Interesting. Action checks through, and the turn is no help, bringing in the 5 of clubs. I check with still my open-ended straight draw, and Jaren fires out $5. It's not even a quarter pot size bet, and I think he's doing this on purpose, as I think he's holding a club. However, Jared's the GOAT, so I try to give him action whenever I can, and I call. The river is actually one of the best and worst cards for us, whichever way you think about it. It's the 7 of hearts, giving us a straight, but any club still beats me. I check, Jaren fires out 15, and he clearly has a flush. Whatever, he's my friend, and we still definitely have some showdown value. I call. You got a club? Yeah, nice hand. I'm not upset about it. Nice hand. Jaren takes this one down with king, queen, offsuit, with the queen of clubs giving him the flush. Nice hand, Jaren. And just like we suspected, we lost. I am still on tilt. So much so that I am going to play this hand. King 3 offsuit. Hey, a similar hand to this helped Ethan win almost a $200 pot against me. Maybe the same will happen to me. So everyone limps pre-flop, and we are multi-way to a flop, which comes king, ace, deuce with 2 spades. Not ideal with the spade draw and ace out there, but we still have a pair of kings. Tice fires out $7. Dylan calls, I call, and Steven calls. 4 ways to a turn, which comes the 10 of spades, completing the front door flush and putting it straight out there. Action checks to me, and I decide that I'm going to bluff here. I bet $12, representing that I have a strong flush. My bluff doesn't work, though, as both Steve and Tice make the call. The river's a jack, not helping me or anyone else apparently, as we decide to check it through.
3-2. Holy shit.
You have the nut low flush. I smell wrong. Steven takes this down with the flush, but the nut low flush. Deuce 3 of spades. Crazy that he won this, but hey, a flush is a flush, I guess. Nice hand. Alright, after losing that, I am ready to just go all in on basically anything, and it looks like pocket eights will be the hand we jam with. I'm under the gun, and I raise to $6. Dylan to my left calls, and Steven calls as well. We are 3 ways to a flop, which comes 5, 6, jack, rainbow. I said I was going to be going all in this hand, and I'm staying true to my word. If one of my 2 opponents has a jack, then nice hand to them. I flick in my all-in chip and await the decisions of my opponents.
All right, we'll see what everyone.
All in.
He's all in. You should probably say caller now.
10, 20.
How much is it?
10, 20, 30, 40.
Hey, are we playing blackjack at midnight?
Yeah. He's buying you 200. I'm playing for him.
40? 40.
Dylan folds, but Steve is not so quick to act. He reveals to me that he has ace-9 offsuit, but he wants to give me action because he feels bad about my luck tonight. Steve's the man. Eventually, he decides to flick in his black chip for a call, and we agree to run it once. We are looking pretty good until the turn is, of course, an ace. Wow, that's really rough. Only an 8 can save us on the river, but it does not come. Nice hand, Steven. I appreciate you giving me action, but I am just getting really unlucky today. Just like that, we have no more chips in front of us, and we are done for the night. Jaren decided to host some blackjack for a little bit, so we play a little bit of that before we eventually get our things and head on back home. Well, that was certainly something. I was pretty upset about losing, so much so that I completely forgot to film an outro up until now when I started to sit down and edit. Number-wise, we were in for $100 and cashed out 0. So our first bust of the poker vlog journey. Hopefully that doesn't become a reoccurring thing very often. That wouldn't be good. So yeah, please let me know if you have any advice on how I should have played the aces hand differently or how I should manage my tilt, because that's definitely something I want to work on. When I'm upset about losing a hand, I tend to play a lot looser and less smart. So yeah, obviously stuff like this happens. We are, I think, still, even though we lost, I still think we're either even or in the positives in terms of our earnings for the vlog, so that's good. And yeah, so any tips or comments you have, please leave them down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will be releasing a vlog later this week. So thank you guys so much. Obviously, it sucks that we lost, but hey, we'll bounce back, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.